Welcome back to Math 107 College Algebra. In this video, we're going to derive the quadratic formula and then show how we'd use it to solve the problem. So we're going to start with a generic quadratic equation. ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. So the first thing we're going to do with this is I don't really want to work with a number in front of x squared, so I'm going to divide everything through by a. So I get x squared plus b over a x plus c over a is equal to 0. And now I can subtract c over a from both sides. And now, just as an aside, I'm going to point out that x plus c squared is equal to x squared plus 2c plus c squared. So that's going to be useful for us in that we know we're going to get a perfect square if we square half of the coefficient on x. So we're going to do just that. So x squared plus b over a x, and now I'm going to add b over 2a squared, and I'll do the same thing on the other side. And now I'm going to go ahead and factor the left-hand side. At the same time, I'm going to go ahead and expand that b over 2a squared on the right side. So I have x plus b over 2a squared is equal to minus c over a plus b squared over 4a squared. So now, before I go taking square roots of both sides, I'm going to go ahead and get a common denominator on the right side and add. So the left-hand side stays the same. And I'm going to also switch the order on this. So I'm going to do b squared over 4a squared. And then to get a common denominator with negative c over a, I need to multiply top and bottom by 4a. So I get plus negative 4ac over 4a squared. And now that I have the common denominator, I can go ahead and add those things together. So now I'll go ahead and take the square root of both sides. And we can take the square root of the denominator on the right side and just get 2a. And then the numerator, we've got to remember a plus or minus. And then the right-hand side is x plus b over 2a. And now finally I'll subtract b over 2a from both sides and go ahead and use the fact I have a common denominator. So I get x equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. And now the final thing that we want to do, this is our formula. The final thing we want to do here is, we have the formula now, how do we use it? So, we'll go with the equation x squared plus 4x equals -1. Now, with it in this form, we cannot use the quadratic formula. So we need to add 1 to both sides. And now we can plug it into the quadratic formula like this. So, x equals -4 plus or minus the square root of b squared, so 4 squared. Go ahead and write that as 4 squared. Minus 4ac, so 4 times 1 times 1. All over 2a. Our a here is 1, so that's just 2. And now it's just a matter of simplifying. So first thing I'll do is simplify under the radical. So -4 plus or minus square root of 16 minus 4 over 2. So -4 plus or minus the square root of 12 over 2. And I am running out of space to write here, so I'm going to work up. So -4 plus or minus 2 square root of 3 over 2. A 2 factors out of that numerator, and I'm left with -2 plus or minus the square root of 3. I'm going to rewrite that. So that is how we solve a quadratic equation. In the next video, we're going to take a look at some other properties of quadratics that are useful to look at.